Welcome to the June 2025 Water Resources Outlook. In the Southeast, May was a wet month, and those showers have continued into June, ending the dryness previously seen. Adam and I are here to tell you about how spring rainfall and stream flows have been progressing and what we can look forward to as we get into the summer months. So let's get started with our observed rainfall. Over the last 30 days, rain has been consistent. Almost every state has areas above normal rainfall during this period. Parts of Alabama recorded over 10 inches of rainfall. Elsewhere, 5 to 10 inches has been the most likely accumulation. There have been some low accumulation locations in northern Florida and in the Panhandle, as well as parts of South and North Carolina. The least amount of rainfall observed during this period was between 0.6 and 1 inch near Inglis, Florida. In the 90-day departure from normal, the entirety of Alabama is above or near normal, while Florida has the most area at or below normal. Lingering frontal systems produce heavy downpours and convection that have supplied Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina with this rainfall. During this 90-day period, North Carolina has mostly seen near normal rainfall amounts, but does still have some areas of 2 to 5 inches above normal. Now that we have fully left La Nina behind us, our year-to-date departure shows some positive departures. Again, Alabama is the most widespread, where areas of 4 to 8 inches are above normal. Florida and North Carolina have the largest areas of negative anomaly, with rainfall in Florida still showing some 3 inches below normal. The 28-day average stream flows reflect the above normal rainfall seen in the past 30 days. Aside from the Florida Panhandle and Peninsula, most rivers are above normal to much above normal. Although North Carolina has not seen widespread accumulations as great as South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, the rivers are still showing normal and above normal flows. Even in Central Florida, the consistent rounds of rainfall have shown improvement to the flows, where we are now seeing normal flows as contrast to the below and much below normal that was seen in previous months. To continue the benefits of the frequent rainfall and above normal accumulations, drought has ended in Georgia and the Carolinas. Some coastal areas of the Carolinas are still marking dryness, but in North Carolina, this represents only 8.8% of the area, and in South Carolina, it is 3.19% of the area. 65% of Florida remains in some drought category, but this is still an improvement from the beginning of the year when almost 90% of the state was experiencing some type of drought. We expect to continue seeing improvements in Florida as it appears the rainfall season has begun. We have now reached week 24 of the year, which typically is a low point in flooding for the Southeast. As Florida's rainy season continues, the number of floods we see per week may increase. This week, we do have a number of ongoing and forecast minor river floods, which lines up with river climatology for the Southeast. The recent rainfall in South Alabama also introduced one moderate flood at Bayou Sarah in Saraland, Alabama. We can't end our discussion of current seasonality players without mentioning that we are now in the Atlantic hurricane season. During the month of June, if tropical storms and hurricanes develop or move, it is within 150 miles of the blue shaded area. The blue shade here represents 10 to 29 storms moving through this area over an analysis period of 100 years. During the month of July, the region expands from the Gulf of Mexico and the western Atlantic seaboard to include the Caribbean Sea. Also in July, the area of the U.S. East Coast that may see one of these storms expands to include the northern states like Philadelphia and New York, and the general number recorded near the North Carolina coast also increases. I'll now hand it off to Adam to discuss the upcoming weather pattern we have to look forward to before returning to discuss the long-term outlooks.
A very summer-like pattern is in store for the southeast over the next week as a slow-moving upper-level trough located over the southern plains and higher pressure off the Atlantic coast combine to usher Gulf moisture to the southeast. This moisture, with combined daytime heating, will allow for summer showers and thunderstorms to develop each day. These showers will be scattered in nature but could produce heavy precipitation where they do form. Today, low pressure associated with the upper-level trough is located over the Oklahoma and Texas border. The southerly flow ushering in the Gulf moisture is depicted as the warm front attached. Tomorrow sees the low having moved northeast to southeast Kansas. Gulf moisture will continue to be ushered in for much of the southeast, producing higher chances for evening showers and thunderstorms. By Saturday, the low has moved to Illinois with the moisture already in place. The southeast will remain hot and humid and stormy. Sunday sees the low pushing eastward to the Kentucky-Ohio border. The high pressure over the Atlantic remains. Afternoon showers and storms remain likely. Conditions remain mostly unchanged on Monday. By Tuesday, the low pressure has pushed offshore. Scattered afternoon showers will remain likely. Wednesday sees the low moving further northeast over the Atlantic. This will leave slightly less moisture available for afternoon showers. Storms are still likely to develop, but it will be more slightly scattered in nature. The 7-day QPF map shows most of the southeast is set to see 1 to 2 inches of rain, with a swath from Mississippi extending to Virginia expected to see the higher values. Again, with the scattered nature of these storms, some areas are likely to see more rainfall than depicted, while others may see less. The long-term CPC outlook calls for slightly above normal rainfall for much of our area on days 8 through 14. The exception comes for the peninsula of Florida, where normal to slight below average rainfall is expected.
Thanks, Adam, for taking us through the rainfall forecast for the rest of June. As I mentioned earlier, we are now in the Atlantic hurricane season. An above-average season is predicted with 13 to 19 named storms. Of these storms, 6 to 10 of them may be hurricanes, and another 3 to 5 of them could become major hurricanes. Major hurricanes are those with Category 3 or above on the wind scale used to classify these storms. Remember that this is not a forecast for landfall storms, as those can only be predicted if and when a system develops. For more information, you can view NOAA's press release at the link shown here. You may be wondering why an above-average season is predicted this year. Well, we are in an INSO-neutral period, which means the West African monsoon is active and westerly winds are transversing the Atlantic. Wind shear is not a major player in preventing development, and Atlantic sea surface temperatures are warm. If you're interested in reading more about these key features of Atlantic storm development, you can visit the link shown here. We are a bit early this month producing this outlook, which means that the July precipitation outlook has not been released yet. We do, however, have an outlook for the August through October period. If you remember, last month, the July through September was predicted to be above normal across the southeast, much like this outlook for August through October. Model guidance continues to indicate that atmospheric circulations may favor Atlantic moisture transport into the southeast in August and September, leading to the prediction of above normal rainfall during this period. October begins a transition where we will have to wait and see what the overall trend looks like as models gain more information. November 2025 through January 2026, we see a transition to below normal precipitation for the southeast U.S. Northern Alabama and Georgia, as well as western North Carolina, mostly still fall in equal chances of being near, above, or below normal. This is because La Niña chances are about 41% as of current for the November through January period. So, the bottom line, in the short term, we're expecting normal rainfall and above normal rainfall to continue in the southeast, which could be beneficial as above normal temperatures are also predicted. Also, neutral INSO conditions introduce limited steering of weather systems over the area. Long term, La Nina may return, but until then, rainfall is expected to keep river conditions normal. We will meet you back here on July 17th for our next Water Resources Outlook from the Southeast River Forecast Center.